to Kansas, gateway to Oz. Under the rainbow, this is where it was. Hollyhocks and red ripe tomatoes, hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. It's the best part of Dorothy's dream.
Today Around Kansas has some great stories for you, starting with one about a letter from Kansas pioneer Thomas C. Wells, written over 150 years ago, that shows the more things change, the more they stay the same. Next, learn about the early days of Kansas author William Inge. Then take a look at the adaptable coyotes of Kansas, and finish up with a poem from Ron Wilson. Stay tuned. Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission, the Soybean Checkoff Progress, powered by Kansas farmers. This segment is brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Good morning.
Good morning, yeah. It's early in the morning, it's Wednesday, this must be Around Kansas.
Must be.
I'm Frank Chafin. And
I'm Deb Goodrich. Good morning.
So, what have you been up to?
Oh my gosh, I've covered every inch of the state. Well, actually just north of I-70. So I've been all along Highway 36 and of course, you know, lots of events in Topeka, but I'm telling you, this is the time to see Kansas. You and I were talking last week, I think, about traveling around the state. Every inch of the state is green.
Oh yeah.
Places that haven't been green in 20 years are green right now. Thank God for the rain. I mean, it's, you know, some people have too much and, you know, we really feel for the folks down in Texas and other areas of the country. But for Kansas, it has been a godsend. The drought, I was speaking to the people out at Wallace, Kansas, and, you know, right out there on the Colorado border, and they had more rainfall, I think Cecil said, in 6 weeks, and they had all of like 2012 or 2013. So their drought, I think, is officially over as of last week. So everything is glorious.
Yeah, well, those of us that ride on two wheels every now and then are kind of thinking that it's over.
Well, yeah, and but now that it's all greened up and before, you know, the August heat and everything, now's the time to get out and see some stuff.
Yeah.
Saw a lot of people on their bikes, you know, there are a lot of people out, even with the rain, you know, they're hardcore nuts, but, you know, they
share the road.
Share the road.
With those guys on bicycles and on motorcycles.
Absolutely, absolutely. So what are you up to, Frank?
Oh, well, you know, I'm kind of having fun this summer because I've mentioned the Vintage Baseball League. And it's kind of a fun thing. The Topeka Westerns are all over, not only the state, but other states. And they've got a tournament coming up here in Muskota this month. And so I'm going to go up and take a look at that. It's really kind of interesting because they play with various rules, because the rules change from the 1860s, even through modern times. And some of the games, you don't tag the person out, you throw at them and hit them with the baseball. Now, it's not a hard ball like it is today. It's more like a hacky sack. But anyway,
oh, gosh.
They're interesting. So if you ever see a bunch of guys in some strange-looking uniforms in the grass out at Lake Shawnee or around, stop and take a look, because it's probably a vintage baseball game.
Oh, I've heard a lot of people talking about that. I got to throw this in real quick. Frank was on the cover of the Senior Monthly, which is I guess it covers Northeast Kansas,
yes.
Is that right? Mm-hmm. Wonderful publication. Great article, great photograph. Way to go, Frank. That was really nice.
Thanks. Yeah, it's all about Ren Radio, which of course got reborn in 2012 on the internet, and we're having a lot of fun. Tune in at renradio.net, where of course you can get a free app from your app store. And it's called TuneIn Radio, and then search Ren, and you can listen to the oldies.
Who would know that these old guys could just be dragged kicking and screaming into the new world of technology? You know, it's you and Les and all those old guys. So it's wonderful.
Okay, we'll be back.
The historic Topeka Cemetery is the oldest chartered cemetery in the state of Kansas. Founded in 1859, it is the resting place of thousands of soldiers and pioneers, the people that created our state and its institutions. It continues to be the sacred burying ground for Kansas families. Come take a tour of historic grave sites or just enjoy the spectacular view of the Topeka skyline. Call us at 785-233-4132 to arrange a visit.
Buying a car shouldn't be this hard. And at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego, it isn't. It's actually awesome. Whether you want a new or used car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. Even if you want to custom order a new car or truck, Toby's team can make the deal. See Toby's team at Brown Chevrolet Buick in Wamego. We're awesome.
To see this show and past episodes of Ag AM in Kansas, go online to agaminkansas.com. This segment brought to you by Heinen Brothers Ag, farmers helping farmers by offering quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia. Call today to protect your crop yield.
Welcome back to Around Kansas. I'm Deb and this is Frank. And Frank, you know, watching the news, nothing ever changes. You know, the
No.
skirts may go up and down, you know, with the hemlines and stuff, and people's, you know, the pants may get baggy or whatever, but people just don't change, and what people have to deal with never changes. Life never changes, and that's one of the things I'm reminded of in dealing with history, you know, pioneer stories.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the segments that I wanted to do today was just to remind people, when you get discouraged with stuff, you know, people 50 years ago, 150 years ago, 500 years ago, dealing with the same stuff. You know, what have you got to deal with every day, Frank?
Oh boy, you don't want to know.
But really, we all got family. We've got you know, money. We got, you know, jobs and moving. You know, all the same things, and that's exactly what people dealt with.
The universe revolves.
It does.
Revolves.
It does. The world, yeah. As the world turns.
What was is now again.
Now again, let's take a look at it, how it was. Life is life, no matter where or when you are. Our days are filled with the ordinary challenges of life. Money troubles, relationships, relatives, work. It was the same 150 years ago. This is a letter written by Kansas pioneer Thomas C. Wells to his relatives in the East. His letters were collected and published. Though written more than 100 years ago, there is so much we can all relate to. So much of this young couple's struggle holds true for folks starting out today. I did not write home last week, for I had enough else to occupy my time. The past week has been an eventful one to me. On Thursday evening last, Ella and I were married. Everything passed off pleasantly. All the guests that were invited came except 2, and they were quite unwell. 16 besides ourselves and the family in whose house we were married were present, and that is doing pretty well for Kansas, for you must know that they all had to come from 1 to 5 miles over the prairies in the dark, and several of them got lost and wandered about for half an hour or more before they could find the house. We would not have hurried matters quite so much had not Theodore been intending to start for home on Tuesday. And as he was the only relation that either of us had out here, we wanted him to be present when we were married. My expenses have been much greater than I expected since I have been here this time. I have been obliged to pay a board bill of $6 a week for myself and Theodore, besides $1 a dozen for washing, and my house has cost me more than I expected, etc., etc. And the man who engaged to furnish me with rails disappointed me so that I did not get my field fenced, and the stray cattle have harvested considerable of my corn for me, which is not very pleasant. But I hope I shall do better another season. I wish that you and Father could come and make us a good long visit when we get settled in our new home. It would be so nice. But I would like still better to see you settled near us in a home of your own. Ella sends love. Yours truly, from your affectionate son, T.C. Wells.
I'm Dr. Frank Lyons, a physician here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center. As one of the only standalone stem cell centers in the U.S., we use your stem cells as therapy for arthritis and some autoimmune diseases.
I'm Dr. Andrew Poe. Here at Kansas Regenerative Medicine Center, utilizing the latest technology under strict protocols, we're able to harvest your stem cells from your own fat to treat a variety of medical conditions. The best part about it is, it's a same-day surgical procedure and requires no general anesthesia.
Hello friends, I'm Ernie Rodina.
And I'm Dawn Dawson with the Better Horses Radio Show.
For over 9 years, we've been bringing the Better Horses Radio Show to markets all across the Midwest. We talk about God, lots about horses.
We talk about cows, we talk about horse health, we talk to top trainers, and we even talk about Roy Rogers.
We're having a blast with Better Horses Radio Show and would love to take it to a market near you.
So visit our website at betterhorsesradio.com and let us or your local radio station know you'd like to hear it in your area.
The Better Horses Radio Show is unbelievable.
Biodiesel made from sustainable resources is diversifying our fuel supply. This year, biodiesel will displace over 1 billion gallons of fossil fuel nationwide. It's making our economy stronger and our communities healthier. It's working here and across America. Get biodiesel going in your community. Visit americasadvancedbiofuel.com.
As fourth-generation farmers themselves, Heinen Brothers Ag Service understands the risk and rewards of farming. So when it comes to quality aerial and ground application, fertilizer, ag chemicals, and anhydrous ammonia, call Heinen Brothers Ag today, 800-760-4964.
Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture, represents grassroots agriculture. The state's largest and most powerful farm organization stands up for its members through leadership development, agriculture education, legal defense, environmental advocacy, farm safety, and risk management. Members also enjoy money-saving benefits. To join our organization today or to learn more, go to www.kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Santa Fe Trail Meats in Overbrook, or visit us online at sftmeats.com.
And we're back. Well, I probably bored you to death with all of my stories about the movie Picnic, which of course was filmed in Kansas way back in 1955. But the guy that wrote that is also from Kansas. His name, William Inge. And he was an interesting character. He didn't start out to be a writer. He was a news broadcaster. He was a columnist in St. Louis. And he met up with a guy named Tennessee Williams. And Tennessee Williams is the one that really kind of encouraged him to start writing. But I don't want to get ahead of the things here, so.
Well, he knew everybody, didn't he? I mean,
everybody.
he just met absolutely everybody in his career. And he came along at a time where I don't know, it's like the arts, film and stage and everything were just bursting.
Right.
And he just came in contact with every significant person of that era, it seems.
Yeah, and he wrote about people that he met and grew up with in his growing up days in the 1920s in Kansas. But, well, let's take a look.
By now you know that William Inge wrote a play and screenplay for the movie Picnic that was filmed in Kansas in 1955. William Inge wrote several plays, most of which were based upon his growing up years in Kansas and people he met in places in Kansas. William Inge was born May 3, 1913 in Independence. He attended Independence Community College, which now has the William Inge Center for the Arts. He graduated from Kansas University with a degree in speech and drama. He moved to Nashville to work on a master's degree, but dropped out. Back in Kansas, he worked for the Highway Department and as a radio announcer, taught high school English and drama, and finally completed his master's degree. In 1943, he worked as a reporter for the St. Louis Star, and with encouragement from Tennessee Williams, wrote his first play, Farther Off from Heaven. While a teacher at Washington University, he wrote Come Back Little Sheba, which ran on Broadway for 190 performances and earned Tony Awards for Shirley Booth and Sidney Blackmer. He won the Pulitzer Prize in 1953 for his play Picnic, which ran on Broadway in 1953 and 54, and of course was made into a movie in 1955. The movie won 2 Academy Awards. Splendor in the Grass was another play and movie. Other familiar works are Dark at the Top of the Stairs, Bus Stop, which was inspired by people he met in Tonganoxie, Kansas, Glory in the Flower, Loss of Roses, and several more. One more note. Summer Brave, posthumously produced on Broadway in 1975, was the original version of Picnic. He commented that he rewrote the play for his own satisfaction. William Inge committed suicide on June 10, 1973, at age 60. The William Inge Collection at Independence Community College has manuscripts, films, correspondence, theater programs, and many other Inge memorabilia. William Inge, Kansan, another great talent from this great state. I'll be playing the oldies for you on the radio Saturdays on renradio.net, and maybe I'll see you somewhere around Kansas.
Here's another gardening tip with Annette Jackson from Jackson's Greenhouse.
Well-designed container flower gardens bring beauty to your home, at your entry, on your patio, or placed in a special spot in your landscape. Let Jackson's help you select the correct plant combinations which will add the color and style you need and that will survive the summer to provide beauty till frost.
Our annual flat sale is going on now. Choose a flat of 4 packs for just $18.99.
Jackson's Greenhouse has what you need today.
Tallgrass Commodities offers producers bulk commodities at a reasonable price with reliable service throughout the whole Midwest. To find out more about Tallgrass Commodities, visit tallgrass.us or call 785-494-8484.
The Kansas Wheat Innovation Center in Manhattan is rediscovering ways to get improved varieties and new genetics in the hands of farmers faster. Grower-led and checkoff-funded research initiatives are bringing about positive change. This grassroots leadership provides a strong voice in Topeka and Washington, D.C. Now is the time to partner with Kansas Wheat in moving wheat forward. Kansas Wheat Commission and Kansas Association of Wheat Growers. Farmers investing in their future and yours. Log on to rediscoverwheat.org.
Around Kansas, brought to you by the Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress powered by Kansas farmers.
Welcome back to Around Kansas.
Should I howl?
Yeah, you go for that. You go for that. Do your best, Wolfman there.
Yeah. Well, not Wolfman, Coyote Man.
Coyote
We're in
Man.
Kansas, after all.
That's right, Coyote Man. Yeah, we got rid of all the wolves, so all we got left are the coyotes. So I had never seen a coyote, nor had I heard a coyote till I came to Kansas. And honestly, living in Topeka, you don't hear too many either. So the first time I actually heard coyotes was at Fort Robinson, Nebraska. And we were in the campground there, and it was just about dusk. And all of a sudden those howls set up, and I'm like, holy cow, you know, the whole Sioux Nation has us surrounded or something. I mean, what? And my husband said, no, those are the coyotes. And now I have been, you know, outside of town, you know, just, you don't have to go far, 10 feet out of Topeka, and you can hear the coyotes in certain neighborhoods. And and they are getting closer and closer, like a lot of wild animals, to urban areas, you know, bears, mountain lion, everything's kind of coming into urban areas.
Here's a fact. You know, Wile E. Coyote was always after the Roadrunner. A coyote can actually outrun a roadrunner.
I did not know that.
That's true.
Really?
Yeah.
Did you time them or what?
No, I read that on the internet.
You read Abraham Lincoln said everything you see on the internet's true, so it must be.
Absolutely.
Let's take a look at some more coyotes. The first coyote I saw in Kansas was February in the Cimarron grasslands in the southwestern corner of the state. The sky was gray, nearly black, and the grass was like gold. The air was heavy with the scent of sage when the creature was loping through the waving grass as if on cue, as if it had just been added to this iconic Kansas landscape. There is hardly a place in Kansas where you won't hear the plaintive, lonely call of the coyote. That most western of animals makes his home virtually anywhere, even in the city limits of large towns. They are incredibly adaptable. Residents of Wichita were horrified a couple of years ago when a pack of coyotes carried away their small dog. Wildlife officials tell us they are deathly afraid of humans, but yes, small mammals should watch out. Coyotes sometimes live alone, but often in pairs or packs. Home ranges can be as large as 25 square miles. They are vocal and shortly after midnight may howl to indicate their location, claim their territory, reinforce social bonds, or simply because they enjoy howling. Pairs sometimes mate for life. Their den sites include cavities under rock ledges, hollow logs, shrub thickets, and dens abandoned by other mammals. They may use several dens when rearing pups. Litters of 4 to 7 pups are born in the spring, and they can live up to 10 years in the wild. Coyotes are opportunistic, eating pretty much what is available. The predators hunt from dusk to dawn for rabbits, mice, rats, squirrels, and ground-nesting birds. They also eat plant matter, including fruits and berries. They will scavenge dead livestock and kill poultry, small livestock, cats, and small dogs. They are smaller than their cousin the wolf, but sources say they can in fact breed with dogs, which results in a coy dog, which might be more aggressive than the simple coyote and may in fact be responsible for attacks on livestock. In many American Indian traditions, the coyote is a trickster, playing pranks on humans or his fellow animals.
Kansas is a trademark program that helps Kansas businesses grow, produce, process, or manufacture Kansas products. Let's catch up with Flint Hills Aromatherapy, located in Atlanta, Kansas, close to the Oklahoma border. Inspired by the small seed of an idea, Flint Hills Aromatherapy believes in the power of aromatherapy to create a better life for you and your family. Specializing in marketing the finest pure essential oils available today, they use these same oils across their entire line of aromatherapy products. With many products to offer, Flint Hills Aromatherapy has 100% natural ear candling cones, 100% soy wax candles, exotic body butters, lotions, scrubs, and sprays, massage oils, mineral bath salts, pet products, and so much more. Visit their website at www.flinthillsaromatherapy.com for a complete list of their products.
Soil is the life of a farm, and for 25 years, SureCrop Liquid Crop Nutrition has helped growers produce abundant quality crops while preserving and improving the soils they steward. SureCrop offers complete soil and plant analysis with cropping recommendations, delivery direct to your on-farm storage, and quality crop nutrition custom blended for your field. Choose SureCrop for the assurance of excellence for your soil. Call today or visit their website for more information.
Valley Vet Supply is devoted to providing information and professional quality products at reasonable prices.
Valley Vet Supply.
Around Kansas, brought to you by Kansas Farm Bureau, the voice of agriculture. Go to kfb.org or find us on Facebook and Twitter.
Nowadays, farmers have modern tractors with all the technology and all the features. But the tractor that I grew up driving was an old Super H Farmall. This poem is entitled Revenge of the Farmall. My dad bought a tractor used way back in 1958. It was a Farmall Super H, which he thought was great. Yet it wasn't big or fancy, had no roll bar, cab, or radio, no three-point hitch or power steering to turn it just so. He had more modern, bigger tractors in the ensuing years, but he always kept the old Farmall around the old place here. Decades later, when we moved back to the place, I drove the Farmall but felt it should be replaced. We went to the dealer and bought a brand new tractor with all the tools and features which you would think would be a factor. It had a front-end loader and a great hydraulic system with so many wonderful features that I had never missed them. When there was work to do, I'd pick the new tractor instead and leave the old Farmall parked out back in the shed. One wintry day, I had to take a load across the meadow. I fired up the brand new tractor and moved across the snow, when suddenly the tractor's front end went down with a whack into a snow-filled ditch. I couldn't go forward, couldn't go back. The new tractor had front wheel assist, but it was in too deep, tires spinning on the slippery slope where the angle was so steep. I tried to rock it, but there was no such luck. Thanks to my bad judgment, the new tractor had gotten stuck. I considered my options. I trudged back with sinking heart and decided to see if that old ignored Farmall would even start. To my surprise, the engine caught with a growl and then a shout. We drove across the meadow and pulled that brand new tractor out. It must have been a funny sight to see this curious trip like watching a Model T help out a new spaceship. Now things are back to normal. When there's a tractor to be used, I choose the brand new tractor because of all that it can do. But Dad was right, and just because his thinking was so sound, I'll embrace the new technology, but I'll keep the old Farmall around. Happy trails.
Closed captioning brought to you by Kansas Soybean Commission. The Soybean Checkoff, progress, powered by Kansas farmers.
Hand-churned homemade ice cream. Let me tell you, Kansas is more than tornadoes. We're the best part of Dorothy's dream. We're the best part